Hey guys, RCT3 Imagineer here, and I will be your host for the very first edition of Lights On, the no frills, no effects, behind the scenes look at the POVs I post to my channel. Well, you unfortunately have to listen to me blabber nonsense that will hopefully have some kind of educational meaning to you. I'm currently working on some new projects, and in the meantime, I thought it would be cool to give a unique approach to how I do my own rides, which I would love if it turned into more tutorials depending on what you guys want out of this. The very first ride to be featured on this series is Jurassic Blast from 2010, which was 7 years ago. Yeah, I feel old. Anyways, this was my first RCT3 dark ride, even though I had been playing with the game for years before. Regardless, it's a little rough, especially compared to today's standards. But I think it's a great project to show off, especially if anyone is looking to get started on making dark rides just like I did. Jurassic Blast is obviously a knockoff version of Disney's Dinosaur. I was and still am obsessed with dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, and I guess I wanted my first dark ride to showcase what I could do with the genre. The station you're seeing in the background was actually never finished, so is not featured in the original video. So this is actually a first look at my very first station, which is also a little rough. Oh, I should mention that the custom scenery set in the background of the station is Wynor's control room. I use it in a lot of my videos, and I find it to be really suitable for dark rides in a sci-fi genre. Okay, so the ride you're seeing now is a drifting coaster from RCT3 Wild. At the time this was made, this was an ideal roller coaster to build, as it features a car that swivels, allowing you to pan the scenery a little bit more. This was before the Mindbender custom roller coaster, so this really was the only way to get some good action moments in the ride, which you'll see coming up later. The scenery is very sci-fi-esque, as you can tell, and it features a variety of sets from Desmatses, sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, industry age sets. Also, it includes some of JCat's Spaceworks, and then 2 unlabeled sci-fi themes. Perhaps if any of you guys know what this set might be, feel free to post it in the comments. The time travel sequence of this ride employs the usage of the sci-fi set that I mentioned earlier, and also Liam Blackwolf's space set. It's really a fantastic way to simulate time travel because it was meant to be used for wormholes, so you can easily apply that scenario to this, and it creates an excellent time travel sequence. Now, the star tunnel that you're seeing here, I actually have no idea where I got the set because it is nowhere in the game anymore. So it is a lost relic of my custom scenery. So if anyone knows what it is, you'd be helping me out too. Okay, so now we're getting into the first big scene in the ride, which features the tame herbivores. You can see that this features a lot of in-game and custom scenery trees. The fog particle element is also in-game. This ride heavily features Desmatses, sorry about this pronunciation, event animatronics, which I think is the best custom scenery set you can get for RCT3. It is the reason that these dinosaurs sync up with the ride, and it really opens up the possibilities for storytelling in the game, which I think is so important to making a dark ride. For example, this scene lures riders into a false sense of security before the big moment of tension, which then propels the ride through a series of unfortunate events, no pun intended, until the grand finale. When you're making a dark ride, there has to be some kind of logic for the progression of the ride, even if it only makes sense to you, because then that gives viewers something to lock into instead of just a point A to point B and then you're done kind of ride. Okay, now we have the big cave scene, which features the Dimetrodon and Shy Guy's rock custom scenery, which also is a must-have if you're planning on building a custom dark ride in RCT3. Really great stuff. The Velociraptors, unfortunately, are not event-triggered animatronics, so you just kind of have to hope and pray that they work out when you go through the ride. The Stegosaurus are examples of ride events from that custom scenery set that I mentioned before, And also you can see above the in-game fog particles. Oh, and this also gives you a nice view of the glowing eyes in the background, which is from Fisherman's Ghost Mindset. Yeah, and in this section, also, I feel for the back row of this ride. It's something I really should have checked out when I was making it. We're on to the indoor waterfall scene. It's kind of more of a filler, just to transition from one scene to the next and add a little bit of thrill to the ride before we get to the final scene, which is destruction. Here we have a bunch of different sets, which is JCat Spaceworks for the comets and NF particle effects, which is another fantastic custom scenery set if you're looking to add some more realism to your rides. Okay, so we're coming up on the final scene, and I know exactly what you all are thinking. Wow, this is more bland than vanilla, and you're totally right. But see what happens when we get into night mode. Drumroll, please. And ta-da! I wasn't planning on showing any of the scenes at night, but it just goes to show you that once you add your lighting and effects, the difference is like day and night. For lighting, I like to use Captain Pogo's black lights and strobes, as well as DRP's ambience, and it really helps to transform your scenes. It's just like makeup. Night mode in RCT3 acts the same way and covers up all those blemishes you might have missed in the building process. And here's the final time travel scene before heading back to the station. It features the exact same custom scenery as the beginning. Alright, that's it for the Lights On look at Jurassic Blast. I hope this gave you some helpful insight and ideas into how to make a dark ride, especially in RCT3. If you have any questions about specific custom scenery elements or want advice on how to build a particular scene, please comment below or send me a message even. I would love to answer your questions, and maybe if I get enough ideas, I'll make a tutorial highlighting some of the technical aspects of building these rides. Thanks for watching, and keep subscribed for more videos. RCT3 Imagineer, signing off.